Welcome back to the Super Not Funny Show reviews. And today, Lottie and I are going to be reviewing My Adventures with Superman, episode 4. That's entitled Let's Go to Ivo Tower, you say. It's coming to you from Cartoon Network streaming on Max. So, what did we think about it, and should you be watching? And before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Lottie, Superman is charging right along, and it's we're getting into the episodic part of the season, and they're starting to introduce some characters or some names we know. In this case, Dr. Ivo, who we know is a bad guy, but in this one, he's like a pseudo Elon Musk. If Elon Musk were actually any good at inventing anything, he's like in fact, I would say, would you agree? He's like a off-brand Tony Stark, like MCU Tony Stark. Is that a fair call?
He's more of an off-brand Titanium man.
Yeah, or even Ironmonger or something like that. But he's like, what if Tony Stark but bad? What I liked about this episode, is I thought it was really quite good actually. It's always leaning into its anime roots. But I'm kind of really loving that they're not just embracing it, but they're really, making the anime tropes work in the context of the characters. Like Jimmy's am I wrong? He's just the cock block. That's his whole role in this show. He drops clues and he cock blocks. Like that's his whole thing. Obviously, Lois continues to be high spirited and everything, and she really wants to prove herself. And then, of course, Clark, he's kind of the good guy that gets dragged along and everything. And so they develop their relationship. There's like a good action fight in here, and we kind of see, I think we kind of see that maybe there's a conspiracy going on with these super weapons, but also that Superman's gaining some traction and maybe some eyes are looking at him. So that's a lot of stuff going on in this episode. Lottie, what did you think when you had a chance to take a look at it?
It was just I'll say, it's not, in my opinion, it's still better than episode 2, but I didn't like it as much as I liked episode 1 and 3. This episode felt more like I won't say filler. I will say it kind of felt a little fillerish. You know what I mean? Doesn't it feel like an anime filler?
I was gonna say it feels like we're watching an episodic cartoon where every week they got a new villain, and the advancing of the plot is, only so much. I mean, and let's be fair, they did advance the plot because they're, when we get the spoilers a little bit, but they're talking about Lois is stuck on finding out who the hell is Superman. She doesn't trust Superman. She's like, he's lying or whatever. And she's a bulldog about this. And then so they make what I consider to be, I was really damn surprised watching it. They actually advanced that plot because, in the Superman comics and in the cartoons, they basically were just like keeping Lois on a hook for decades on end, about Superman's identity. And man, I was like, oh, wait a minute, y'all are doing something different here. Okay, let me follow along with you.
I think he's gonna figure. I have a feeling it's going to be, he's gonna figure out how to make her think he's not Superman.
I mean, he ain't got Batman to stand in his place this time, so that's not happening. And he can't, fly around the world and reverse time. So, what's happening? I'm curious. But Lottie, what do you think about this dynamic of the trio? I really love watching them three work together. I mean, obviously Lois and Clark, they're not even beating around the bush. They got, romance is sparking. But also
anime romance.
Yeah, but also the three of them working together. I love watching them. Just Lois, Clark and Jimmy doing their reporter thing. I really enjoy the hell out of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I I wasn't like when I was watching this episode, I was just going like, yeah, this feels almost because that is what it is nowadays. They always have the anime trio now. Naruto started it and everybody's running with it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of funny that the dynamic between the characters. There's the one guy who is clearly the middle guy who's just like you said, just super blocking. He's
He's the
not
cock
even just,
block.
yeah, he is like, he's drop kicking blocking. Like, he's like, "Mm-mm." He's like, if I'm not getting none, nobody's getting any.
Yeah, and it's fun, and I was just like, that's his superpower. Clark can fly and shoot lasers, and Jimmy Olsen will keep him from getting laid ever. So,
The ultra cock block, the cock block 3000.
what do you think about? And I guess we'll talk spoilers. What do you think about Ivo and his whole, not just his character, but also his kind of his villainous plan and everything, and his tech, and how he kind of, let's be honest, he gave Clark the business. He kind
Yeah,
of did. Even
yeah.
though technically Superman is superior, he kind of did give him the business.
I mean,
Oh, and
it's
also,
crazy that,
how dare he steal Wakandan tech? You know what I'm saying? He stole Black Panther tech.
I'm really believing the main bad is Brainiac because it has to be. It just has to be. How is this technology that this alien technology all these people are like finding and messing with are just like fucking like destructive to super? I'm telling you, man. We're gonna find out that all of this is Brainiac. All of it is Brainiac. You had semi-sentient robots that literally are sentient enough to be like, wait, hold the fuck up. You trying to turn me off? You have this jewel that can connect to somebody's back that can shoot lightning that can fuck Superman up. You had a freeze ray that can freeze people, but for somehow, some way, not turn them into dust and they could stay alive frozen. And then this thing that can absorb Kryptonian energy, Brainiac. Brainiac, I'm telling you, man, is Brainiac.
I mean, why not? At this point, this early in the season, it was actually, like I said, they seemingly have nerfed Superman in this, and that's fine because I do like seeing him actually having to work to get a victory. Even though in this case he just really was like, oh, I just can't punch this guy to death. Cool. And this is, I wouldn't even say this is a villain origin story. I think Ivo was already villainous anyway. He was definitely an asshole, and
Yeah.
he was everything wrong with the billionaire class. But like I said, he's villain Tony Stark essentially. But the way he basically got damaged to hell by his own tech, obviously we're gonna see him again. Like that's clear, right? He's coming back and he's gonna be like, he's gonna have a mad on for Superman, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But like I think really, like the main, like all that was cool. I like that, but to me, the kind of the best parts of this was the whole Lois and Jimmy being like, let's look at the tabloids because obviously why not? And I saw them do the whole thing like, oh, someone's definitely gonna find that little piece of paper you don't want anybody to fucking see. And then Lois gets it because in an act of chivalry where Lois and Clark are just like, oh, we're kind of on a date and everything. They have their little thing, and Jimmy is too far away. His cock block powers only go so far. He can't teleport, so they actually
Hmm.
kind of get that little romantic connection. And then Clark, of course, leaves that thing, and so now she's put two and two together. It took her four episodes of this show. In any other Superman thing, it might be years before she even thinks, maybe it's Clark, you know. So I applaud that. Move this shit on. Not like it's like in Spider-Man. How long you want Mary Jane to not know that he's Spider-Man? How long we got to be like, where's Clark? He's every time Superman comes around, he somehow falls down a hole or something. Like, come on. Like, we don't need to do that.
It's one of the things I loved about uh Invincible. They like still to this day my favorite, by far favorite way of a friend finding out his best friend is a superhero. Looking at his face.
It's like, hold on, wait a minute, you're invincible. You can't tell my boy. I done seen your stupid face so too long to not know.
Superman one is in today's day and age is just stupid. Like them not knowing who Superman is in today's day and age is just stupid. Like like in the 1950s and the 40s and all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. 2023, you can edit those glasses off the man's face and be like, "Holy shit, he looks like Superman."
Yeah.
It's so like him literally able to just take glasses off and just frizz up his hair and no one knows he's Superman is just dumb in 2023.
Yeah. Well, I'll be really interested to see where that's going. So I think overall good episode, and I'm enjoying this show so far. So Lottie, same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are our thoughts on this episode of My Adventures with Superman. What did you guys think about it? And what did you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps with this channel, helps it to grow, and helps more people to see these videos. All right, thanks for joining us. Come back next week. We're going to review episode 5 of My Adventures with Superman. Till then, I've been Mo, your commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.